Now to a story that you won't see anywhere else. Your tax dollars help to pay their salaries, but how are those earnings measuring up when it comes to your child's test scores? Well, it impacts a lot of people, whether you're a parent, grandparent, or you pay school taxes like most of us do. That's why we're launching another exclusive series, New York State Exposed Education. For months, we've been investigating how the state affects your life, taxes, fees, laws, and you've responded, helping to fuel our New York State Exposed series. And that's why we're expanding this from Common Core to low-performing schools. We're covering all of it. Tonight, super salaries for superintendents. Brett Davidson has a report you'll only see on News 10 NBC.
School superintendents are among the highest paid public officials in the state. We've compiled a list of the base salaries for all 18 public school district superintendents in Monroe County, and their pay ranges from $158,000 to $221,000 a year. Rush Henrietta Superintendent Dr. Kenneth Graham, who has led the district for 14 years, is at the top of the list at $221,000. Rochester City School Superintendent Bolhan Vargas, who heads up the area's largest district, is in the middle of the pack. While Wheatland Chili, by far the smallest district in Monroe County, is paying its superintendent the least at $158,000. But are these district leaders paid with your tax dollars worth those six-figure salaries? We asked the State Education Commissioner, Dr. John King.
Certainly it's important that salaries remain reasonable. The bottom line statewide is that administrative costs are still a relatively small percentage of the budgets in most districts.
King's boss, Governor Cuomo, has proposed capping superintendent pay based on the size of enrollment. But some education groups have suggested another way of determining their salaries.
I think the compensation model needs to be flipped on its head, and student performance, school performance needs to be a major factor in how they're compensated.
Kyle Olson is with the Education Action Group, a national not-for-profit education watchdog organization.
Rochester is a good example, where graduation rates are certainly below average and are certainly unacceptable. When you have student proficiency rates that are terrible, then I think those superintendents are overpaid.
Vargas earns $195,000 a year. In the city school district last year, only 5% of students met or exceeded proficiency standards for English and math. Vargas was unavailable for an interview, but a district spokesman says the superintendent holds himself accountable to the Board of Education and hasn't had a raise since taking the job in 2012.
But if you're going to hire a superintendent, you're going to pay the market rate.
City School Board President Van White says he sees merit in the idea of tying salaries to student achievement in the form of inverse pay for performance.
Do citizens, should they expect better results? Absolutely. And that's why I suggest that maybe we ought to be talking about reducing pay if they don't achieve results.
Jody Siegel from the Monroe County School Boards Association says academics are certainly one part of the job, but points out there are many other areas where a superintendent must excel.
Superintendents are running very much multi-million-dollar organizations, and their salaries are nothing comparable to someone in the business world.
If you want to see what your school superintendent makes, you can find it at our website at WHEC.com. Brett Davidson, News 10.